Hello, hi, welcome back to Cultural Translation 21-day challenge. This is day 11. Thank you for joining me. So today, on the 11th day, I decided just get away from my bookshelf and just sitting in front of my couch, just getting a little bit cozy. And this, just so you know, if you are here for the first time, thank you. Culture Translation 21-day challenge I started as a sort of way to share all this wisdom that I've been accumulating, nuggets of wisdom and inspiration that I've been accumulating from reading all these books that I've been culturally translating, which is my work, which I blessed to have and which I enjoy. And also cultural translation, I feel like it's such a wide term and field, so I wanted to kind of try this 21-day challenge to keep doing so I can get better idea of what it's about and get clearer contour of cultural translation. So thank you for joining with me, and I hope you take out some inspiration for your day. So today I am coming back to this book. Sorry, my camera, I'm using selfie camera, so it's like all upside down, the other way around, upside down, the other way around, wrong side. Anyway, so it's the book of tea culture, Chanoyu, written by the scholar Kumakura Isao Kumakura, and he is, I love him. I think he's close to 80, but every time I go to his lecture, he has this so much energy, and he's so witty, and he's passionate, and he always has this like really inspirational way of passing his wisdom, because his knowledge just extends wide and deep, and he can just talk about many aspects of Japanese culture in sort of connection to one another. So this book, he talks about tea, but I guess I'll get to show you a little bit of how sort of his vision perception expands from just looking at by talking about tea. And to commemorate this tea occasion, I'm just sipping on my matcha green tea from Kanjiro Kawai's teacup, whose quote I introduced on day 4, I think. So this, the other way around, Kawai Kanjiro's house, and he is, one of the main Ninge Folk Crafts movement member, strong driving force, and he's a great potter, and he has done many artwork, not just pottery but sculpture, and his words always speak strong to me. So I did introduce one of his quotes on the day 4, but I'm hoping to do more later in this cultural translation challenge. But that's that for that. And today, day 11, I am introducing depths into Kumakura Isao's word. So here, have you been to Japan, and have you been in a commuting train, like packed commuting train, where people are like, they say like, what's the tinned sardine, like they're all packed in a train. And if you think that's normal, Mr. Kumakura says that's not normal for Japanese people, because we Japanese actually like to keep social distancing, that's the word, like, personal space, much wider than possibly Western or Arabic culture. We don't usually hug, we don't usually kiss as a sort of greeting. We may shake hands, yes, we do shake hands, but in general, we tend to keep space, and there are many gestures in Japanese culture that the sign of like, so this is my space, that's your space, kind of thing. And so the packed train is very unusual, and my respect goes out for everyone who managed that daily. But he also compares that, not compares that, but there's another occasion in Japanese culture where you can encounter such tight space, which is tea room. You might have seen, like, in such a small space, like maybe 2 tatami, which is like 4 square meter space, and 4 or 5 grown-ups, adults get together. And he says that because Japanese people are not used to being so close with each other, when we are forced into the small space where only small window, kind of dark, and we probably share a bowl of tea together, that just like really brings the guests, participants together. There's like closeness, like physically, and it's also emotionally. And that's why historically there are many secret talks, political agreements that's just been secretly done within a confined tea room. And so that's very a social aspect to it as well, not just cultural. And on top of that, what's interesting is the setting, almost like a prop of nijiriguchi, an entrance to the tea room, which is like really tight square space. And nijiri means to like you just kind of crawl on your knee, literally. So you have to, like in the back of the time, like samurai's time, they had to leave their swords outside the tea room, because otherwise the swords would get stuck in the entrance, you know. So it's also, well, representation of peace. Then there's no fighting inside the tea room, but also by going through this like really uncomfortable entrance, which probably also defies the idea of Japanese hospitality, because they try to, you know, welcome you into the comfortable space, but this small entrance actually like forces you to like get like really uncomfortable. But he compares this as a sort of prop and re-experiencing being born. So it's almost like coming out from your mother's womb, going through this narrow, dark, suffocating space to go out to the other side, being born. And small, narrow path usually in many cultures represents a path to rebirth. And he compares to, there's a Chinese tale called Paradise of Peach Blossom. And also in the West, you have Alice in Wonderland, where Alice falls into this narrow rabbit hole and comes out in this fantasy land, right? And it's almost that. So it's this small entrance, the tea room serves as a prop to the non-ordinary experience. And you go out there, and it's not just wide, bright space opens up for you. It's actually like another dark room where you get to share like tiny space and meal and tea with your guests. So it's all about creating this experience and not everyday experience. So that makes me think it's almost like contemporary art installation, isn't it? And yes, it's all about producing the experience for your guests. And on that note, I'd like to also introduce the word of hare to ke in Japanese, as hare means sort of festive, non-ordinary moments, whereas ke is our everyday mundane routine. And we like to go back and forth. Like, I think if you just kept on doing the festival would become actually mundane, everyday routine. And if you keep on doing everyday mundane, you would actually kind of like escape into the non-everyday festive mode. So we actually need both to go back and forth. And I suppose tea room, the experience of tea ceremony, tea gathering, served as that way to bring people into the non-everyday setting, share the experience, so they can come back into the everyday to, yeah, get back into the everyday grinding, but with a bit of freshness inside. So that's my thought for the day. And so next time if you're in Japan, maybe you can look for small entrance or enjoy the experience in packed commuting train and imagine that as a being non-everyday festive experience. And no, let's not. That's a bit maybe too much to add on to that. But yes, so this is my thought for today, day 11. I hope it's served some sort of food for thought for you, and hopefully I'll continue this journey tomorrow for day 12. I don't know what I'm going to read, but yes, if you enjoyed, please come back, and I'm wishing you a good day.